Hello and welcome to this video, and in this video we are in Iceland. This is not about multi-day backpacking, it's just that a video about should you want to dip your toes into the water of Iceland, and in this case the frozen water. So this is an introduction to a series of day hikes that we did as a family, getting progressively more adventurous as our 10-day trip goes on, and it's all in this kind of stunning landscape. This video is about being on a family kind of hiking holiday somewhere like the Lake District, where you'll do short walks, cat bells and stuff like that, but from an Icelandic perspective. Say hello. Hello. Okay, our first hike in Iceland was 10 meters long and we're at the spot already. Apparently this is 7 to 14 meters deep. 6,500 year old crater lake. Interesting, a lot of people around though. This must be where they get the pumice stones from boots for rubbing your hard skin off. And I know there's classics like the Lagoon trail, multi-day backpacks that people do in Iceland, but this is about just short walks, a bit of a first taster, kind of touristy hiking experience. You might find it useful. This reminds me of many lives ago when, to keep current in the winter, I used to go scuba diving in flooded brick quarries in Northamptonshire and Leicestershire. That was just a little one. It's really cool. I think there's a cavity underneath called a caldera, something like that. And when the pressure builds up, of course, it This is just day one, two little kind of tourist walks. The geology is amazing. It's kind of like, oh, there's the geyser just going off again. It's kind of like flat plains, and then obviously these mounds of rock mountains just emerge out of the plain, like this big mountain here. Fascinating. So a lot of people don't know that Iceland's famous for the sport of wedging. This is the Gulfoss waterfalls. Amazing. It doesn't look real. This is actually a fissure waterfall where softer rock has worn through, I think it's dolerite at the side. It's said when this is in full flood, there's enough to fill 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools in 1 second. That's the cubic meters of flow. The spray coming off this waterfall now, incredible. Everybody's walking past getting soaked. I'm alright in this jacket though. I was thinking of buying a Panda 4x4, but I don't think so now. Bit of a problem in Sainsbury's car park though. So to access the start of some of the trails, it helps if you've got a 4-wheel drive vehicle, and then you can take these back kind of lava gravel roads. They're pretty cool. Just through the middle of nowhere, and suddenly you're just off the beaten track. Okay, it's day 2. Yesterday was a real kind of touristy short walks, doing those hot spots that you've got to do. But today we've driven along what's called an F road. It's kind of like a volcanic road, just kind of ploughed out of the kind of tundra. We came right over there, bit of an adventure, but it looks like there are a lot of places that you know, there's reasonable kind of signing, and we're heading for this. It's like a hot spring that you can swim in. Hey, hire cars can go anywhere, can't they? There's loads of guys in like massive four-wheel drive with headphones and helmets on along roads like this, but we're in the little toy hire Vitara. Now, it goes without saying, before taking your family on any wilderness hike like this, it's just like we're in a remote area of Scotland, something like that. So we're all well equipped, good gear on, even though it's a good forecast, full waterproofs, cold weather gear, hats and gloves, first aid kit, satellite communicator, map, all the usual shebang. Like the Lake District, there's the odd sheep, but unlike the Lake District, you'll come across random venting, bubbling holes of steam and acidic water. Mixes very hot coming down from the hot springs, and then cold coming out from the mountain up there. This is the cool stuff that merges here. I think this part's much more haze outdoors. I'm sure that wasn't there before. Big spouting steam vertical thing coming out of the ground. Nice one.
They absorb heat quite well, and they're obviously heavier than the surface of the ice, and they just create pools like this. And very often at the bottom of these pools you have some stones.
Thomas, do you mind saying the name of this glacier again?
It's called Fjern, the falling glacier.
So this is day 3, and we're currently on the largest glacier in Europe, but this is on Iceland. So So Georgia, what you did is you got your bum out, you pull it out like that, so you've got to keep your weight pulling down on it. Just makes the right noise, like that.
Well, let me get a photo.
Would you believe it's 10 o'clock at night now, still really light, and we're walking down to this black beach plane wreck. But something I've really enjoyed today is we've been driving across miles of this kind of volcanic tundra. It's just amazing. I mean, at one point, kind of like way over there, I'm sure we were an hour on the road, just flat across all this kind of volcanic waste and lava fields and ash fields with occasional rivers. Just absolutely incredible. Lovers of the outdoors like me and you will love this stuff. Just amazing. Look at it, just like a big long plain of like rocks and ash. Fabulous. So the plane wreck's over there, it's like a little dot in the distance. Now this is an item of clothing I haven't shown you before. I bought it myself, shock horror, I know. This is the Brynje. It's got a really high concentration of merino wool, reinforced shoulder and elbow sleeves. It's got thumb sleeves, and I'll show you in a second the couple of killer features with this jacket that makes it outstanding. It's perfectly suited to this climate, kind of damp and cool. You can see that, but there's like a fox going across. It's stopped now where those black rocks are, scooching across there. Limping a bit, the poor thing. What we've been walking to is this abandoned plane wreck. The DC-3 that crashed in 1973 is over there. Now ignore this behind me, let me tell you about some features of this jacket. It's got a really excellent hood, 70% merino on the outside, some really good tough elbow and shoulder patches, and then the killer feature is, I don't know if you can see that, it's got a windstopper lining and the obligatory famous Brynje thermo mesh. It's no wonder that Icelanders love wool for its wind stopping qualities, but this has got the extra wind stopper itself as well. Brilliant jacket, perfect for this bleak, open, damp tundra. Okay, that's been the end of day 3. Got a fair few steps today. The hikes are getting more adventurous and more of the empty spaces, which I'm loving. This is day 4 of our action-packed holiday, and today we're just approaching a few waterfalls, short walks. We got back after 1 AM last night. The Black Beach walk to the plane wreck was more like kind of 7 kilometres when we'd already done the Glacier walk, so I thought we'd have an easier day today, sightseeing shortly. So we're round on the south coast of Ireland. this is the ultimate bivvy spot.
Jacket's got a 20,000mm hydrostatic head, but this is 60,000mm coming down a waterfall.
We're considering going this place, Perlan, which is the Wonders of Iceland Museum, highly recommended allegedly, but we're just doing those things for real, like the glaciers, the waterfalls, seeing the volcano, so why pay £150 for a simulated show? Doesn't make sense. Oh, it's spooky. Icelandic wool jumpers pre-impregnated with honey hairs. The food we've had has been excellent. A lot of really great fish. I'm not sure about the boiled fish head though, or the oven cooked sheep head. You know, when I go places abroad like this, I always feel like it's set up to want to tell you about things. I always feel like in a lot of places in England that you're not really welcome. Okay, there are tourist centres where you're encouraged and things like National Trust properties, but I think here they really want to tell you about the place and really want you to enjoy the experience.
Let's have a look at this.
Of course, if you haven't figured it out already, it's like basalt columns that you get sometimes from cooling volcanoes, I think. Right, we're going on a moderate walk. We're going to see how far we get to Helgufoss waterfall. Reykjavik in the coast is down there. And it's been amazing how quickly you come out of the city and then you're just in this total hilly wilderness, like instantly, like flicking a switch. The city just... And we're exploring the Þórufoss National Park. And this was a short hike down to the Þórufoss waterfall. Some say it's one of the most beautiful ones. Doesn't have the crowds, and it's sublime. Let's see. My three are up there exploring, or our three should I say. And I get the feeling when they're like this, where they're just off admiring and exploring, that we brought them up right. This is an interesting spot. So Iceland is on the mid-Atlantic ridge. And this is a place where you can actually see the continental plates, the North American and the European plates coming apart. So this changes kind of like frequently. And this is actually the cleft that's opening up. So theoretically, this is the European continent, and that is the North American continent. Beautiful here. This is on the golden circle. That's like a loop that you do that's accessible from Reykjavik. Day 9 and we're on the site of a volcano. 10 days ago. Just trying to view the lava at the moment. And if you could get a freestanding tent on it, these moss fields would make an amazing bed, or even just a bivvy on it. It'd be fabulous. Bivvy here, looking out over the volcano. What a spot that would be. And it's super springy and comfortable. The Blue Lagoon in Iceland is billed as a kind of romantic, amazing swimming spot, but it's actually man-made, built due to an overflow lake from the big geothermal plant here. So not quite so romantic. So what we did, going in the natural hot springs up in the mountains, we think was much better. Interesting place though, you can kind of walk around and look at the waters. This is cool, this water. Behind you! This is the end of the lava field. There's a lot of excitement, and you can feel the heat coming off this. That just feels warm. I don't know if you can see it, there's a heat haze over there. We're going to get closer. So basically what we've done is, from where we were, there was a lot of kind of crusty burnt pudding kind of lava. I don't know the name of it. But we've driven about 10 kilometers round to the south side of the volcano. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to fly the drone because it's too windy. So if you can see it, it's about a mile away. Big crater. You can see the lava boiling inside. It's really great view through the binoculars. And you can feel the heat coming off here in waves. This absolutely stunning. Odney's pool. It was a night troll who bathed in there and was turned to stone. High tide then, evidently. Shopping wise, the supermarkets have been alright. Some stuff has actually been cheaper than the UK, like Coke and chocolate. Most other things are about 1.5 times the price. Outdoor shops have been pretty poor. This iceware stuff, which is kind of like mid to low quality and expensive. So we're hoping this place, Ellingson, will be a little bit better. Yeah, Osprey bags. Good. They're really keen on the merino base layers. Coleman tents. Yeah, not bad. Like a Decathlon kind of thing, but with some decent brands, some average brands. I think overall outdoor shops in the UK have been better, unless there's some specialist stores we don't know about. I mean, there's a big regatta store over there, and I've seen Sports Direct here as well, which is unusual and disappointing. So back in our trusty Suzuki, which is got 224,000 kilometers on, but it's been all right. Last day we're in downtown Reykjavik. We're just having a bit of a chilling, shopping and sightseeing last day. We've just done a thing called fly over Reykjavik. It feels like you're sat in a drone going over sites, and that was really good. And we're just doing a little bit of kind of like souvenir shopping. There's the cathedral up at the top. There's a lot of shops to be avoided here, kind of tourist tat shops, but you know, kind of serve a purpose. No. The worst of the driving is on the fairly busy roads around Reykjavik, but this is about as worst that it gets. Nice open countryside. So this is where we stayed at first in Seljalandsfoss. This is where we stayed for the second 5 days, and this is the longest we travelled down to the Skógafoss and to access the big glacier here. And now we are here. Interesting fact about this place is it was mapped by the Ship to Mallet Caving Club from the UK in 1970, and they did this plan that's still in use today. British cavers.
Amazing, guys! I always get people terrified of trying, so that was actually really. Is it you? Ah, birthday person! Happy birthday! Fantastic!
But this grey wall is the original layer of the cave.
It's the end of the paved highway. That's how it looks like
Yeah, that's
naturally.
actually the first step when you come in.
That was good. Got to learn a little bit how lava tunnels are formed, and they know of hundreds, but they only discover them when part of the roof collapsed. They think there's thousands more over the grounds of Iceland. So I hope you've enjoyed this 10-day look around Iceland. It's been fantastic for us. We're just going back now, last dinner before our early flight in the morning. We flew from Glasgow, which is just about 2 hours 20, pretty straightforward. The flights over here are pretty reasonable, so if you want to do it lower expense than we did, you can fly from Glasgow, kind of like ordinary kind of flight prices, and the campsites are frequent and look to be of high quality. A lot of them though are quite close to roads, but the roads are fairly quiet. So comment below if you've been, what your experience has been. I want to do more remote hiking if I come back again. I'd love to come back in the winter and experience the landscape of ice in some proper cold weather. So thanks very much for watching.